Right, so now let's come to the discussion of the last three standards in the 500 series over there, which is the 560, 570 and the 580. Right, so we just completed with 550, which was regarding related parties. Right, so now coming to the SA 560, which is regarding the subsequent events. Okay, right, so first now let us try to understand that what do you mean by subsequent events as per the AS and then as per the SA, that is as per the standard on auditing. Right, so as per the accounting standard AS4, as per the Ind AS 10, what is the meaning of subsequent events? It says events occurring between the date of the balance sheet till the date of the approval of the financial statements by the board, by the management. Right, so say we take the example of the year end to be 31st March 2030. Right, so now what are subsequent events which occur between 1st April 2030 and say date of approval of financial statements is 25th of April 2030. Right, so events which occur between 1st April to 25th of April, that would be the subsequent events as per the AS4, as per the Ind AS 10. And these events which occur between the date of balance sheet till the date of approval of the financial statements, further it says it could be an adjusting event or it could be a non-adjusting event, which is also called as the disclosure event. Right, so it could be an adjusting event or it could be a non-adjusting event. Right, adjusting event which provides the additional evidence with respect to the condition that existed at the balance sheet date. Right, so the condition exists at the balance sheet date. But non-adjusting event, it says the condition does not exist as on the date of the balance sheet, but it arose subsequent to that date. And a condition does not exist on the balance sheet date, but it arose subsequent to that date. Right, so say debtor of the company became insolvent on 12th April. Did the debtor exist on 31st of March? Yes, then that is adjusting event. Did the debtor exist on 31st of March who became insolvent on 12th April? Yes. Now, fire occurred in the company's premises on 15th April. Did the fire exist on 31st of March? No. So that is why this is a non-adjusting event. But a loss of 200 crores suffered, then the disclosure of the same could be required to be done. Right, so we have the adjusting event and the non-adjusting event as per the AS4, the Ind AS 10, two types of the subsequent events. Okay, right, now we come to the definition of the subsequent events as per the SA 560. Now we come to the discussion of the subsequent events as per the SA 560. How does 560 define subsequent events as? 560 defines subsequent events as events occurring between the date of the financial statements and the date of the auditor's report and the date of the auditor's report. And 560 subsequent events do not get over here, and it further says the facts that become known to the auditor after the date of the auditor's report. Facts that become known to the auditor after the date of the audit report means after the 25th April. If example date of my audit report is 25th April, and after date of audit report, I can come to know a fact after 7 days, after 7 months, after 7 years, after 70 years. It is never ending, because it's open-ended. It says after the date of the auditor's report. That means as per SA 560, subsequent events are never-ending. Right, so again, what is the date for which I am doing the audit for? 31st March 2030, that year. So now what is subsequent events? Between the date of the financial statement, so 1st April 2030 till the date of the auditor's report. So say what is the date of my audit report? 25th of April 2030, and facts that become known to the auditor after the date of the auditor's report. Right, so events occurring between the date of the financial statements and the date of the auditor's report, part 1, and then facts that become known to the auditor after the date of the auditor's report. Okay, now between the date of financial statements and the date of the audit report, it says it could be the two types of subsequent events. What are the two types of subsequent events over here? It says it could be the type 1 event or it could be the type 2 event. It could be the type 1 events or it could be the type 2 events. Type 1 event is nothing but the adjusting event of the AS4, and type 2 event is nothing but the non-adjusting event of the AS4 in AS10. Right, so type 1 event, auditor, what you need to check, that whether for the type 1 event, whether the adjustment has been done, and for the type 2 event, okay, right, for the type 1 event, auditor, you need to, okay, my audio is mute, so I'll unmute. Is it all fine? All of a sudden the video went and some disruption came over there. But I hope it's all good, right? My audio, yes, fine, okay, right? So type 1 event, does it require, auditor, you need to check for type 1 event whether the adjustment has been done, and for the type 2 event whether the disclosures have been made, right? So type 1 event, as an auditor, what I need to check, that whether for the type 1 event the adjustment has been done, and whether for the type 2 event the disclosures have been done. And whether this adjustment and disclosure has been done, for that, auditor, what you need to do, you need to obtain the sufficient appropriate audit evidence, that whether for type 1 event adjustment has been done, whether for the type 2 event the disclosures have been done. For this, auditor, you need to obtain the sufficient appropriate audit evidence. And you know that to obtain sufficient appropriate audit evidence, auditor, what you need to do, you need to perform the audit procedures. And like in 550, we discussed the audit procedures to identify related parties. Now here we are going to talk about the audit procedures to identify the subsequent events. The audit procedures to identify the subsequent events. So very shortly I will come to those audit procedures to identify the subsequent events. Okay, right, so this is part 1. Between the date of financial statements and the date of audit report, what do we say? It could be a type 1 event or it could be a type 2 event. Type 1 event requires adjustment. Type 2 event requires disclosure. For what, auditor, you need to check whether for type 1, type 2 event the adjustment disclosure has been done. For that you need to obtain the SAAE, and for that you need to perform the audit procedures. That is part 1. Then part 2, facts that become known to the auditor after the date of the audit report. So say example, I came to know the facts, just example, I came to know the fact on 25th of May 2030, or I came to know the fact on 25th of October 2030. It can be 40 also, any year. I'm just taking example. Okay, 25th of May or 25th of October. Just example I'm taking over there. But 100%, what is one thing for sure? It is after the date of the audit report. Auditor says that I came to know this matter after 25th April. Had I known this matter on or before the date of my audit report, it would have caused the auditor to amend the auditor's report. What does the auditor say? Had I known this fact on or before the date of my audit report, it would have caused the auditor to amend the audit report. Auditor says my audit report would have been changed had I known this fact on or before the date of my audit report. So now for these facts, auditor, what you need to do? Now for these facts, auditor, you need to respond appropriately. Now for these facts, auditor, what you need to do as an auditor? For these facts, auditor, you need to respond appropriately. Right? For the facts, auditor, what does he need to do? For the facts, auditor, he needs to respond appropriately. Okay, so how to respond appropriately, we will see that, right? How to respond appropriately. Okay, right. So now what does it say? Type 1 event, type 2 event, adjustment, disclosure, obtain SAAE. Then facts that become known to the auditor after the date of the audit report, had they been known to the auditor on or before the date of the audit report, it would have caused the auditor to amend the audit report. And for these facts, what you need to do as an auditor, you need to respond appropriately. Okay, looking at this particular chart, now let us have a look at the objective of the SA 560. Let us have a look at the objective of the SA 560. What does it say? Obtain what? Sufficient appropriate audit evidence about whether events occurring between the date of financial statements and the date of the audit report that require the adjustment or disclosure have been appropriately reflected in the financial statements. And then second, it says respond appropriately to the facts that become known to the auditor after the date of the audit report, that had they been known to the auditor at that date, they would have caused the auditor to amend the auditor's report. They would have caused the auditor to amend the audit report. Is this the same thing which I have explained to you in the chart? Oh my God, what is the matter with the Zoom? Shows connecting. Right, so yeah, I don't know, just the Zoom is disappearing all of a sudden, wondering video stuck. Yeah, so it just goes away, you know, the video is just going away. The screen of Zoom is just going away from the screen. So, and then it comes back also automatically, not that I have to start it anything again. So again, a new type, like how sometimes the screen was coming blurry, the video was coming blurry. Now this disappearing is a new type of issue which is coming. So let's see like how it goes further. Okay, for the time being, till the time you are able to listen to me, tell me, are you able to follow this particular objective of the auditor as per SA 560? Are you able to understand this objective of the auditor as per SA 560? What does it say? Events occurring between the date of financial statements and the date of audit report. For that, adjustment or disclosure. For that, you need to obtain SAAE. For facts that become known to the auditor after the date of the audit report. Had they been known to the auditor on or before the date of the audit report, it would have caused the auditor to amend the audit report. For these facts, auditor, what you need to do? You need to respond appropriately, right? So for these facts, auditor, you need to respond appropriately. And what is the definition of subsequent events? Between the date of financial statements and the date of the auditor's report, and facts that become known to the auditor after the date of the audit report. And then what are the two types of subsequent events? Type 1, type 2. Type 1 is nothing but the adjusting event of the AS4 in AS10, which provide the additional evidence with respect to the condition that existed at the balance sheet date. Right, so it requires the adjustment to be made in the financial statement. Example, debtor becoming insolvent, where the debtor existed at the balance sheet date. So we declared insolvent after the balance sheet date but before audit report. But did the debtor exist on balance sheet date? Yes. And second, settlement of legal disputes before audit report date, but again which arose before the balance sheet date. Next, so settlement of the legal dispute. And then type 2 event, the condition, the event did not exist at the balance sheet date, but it arose subsequent to that date. So these events, they do not result in the adjustment. However, being of such a nature that a disclosure may be required to keep the financial statements from not being misleading. Example, purchase of a business, sale of share debenture, settlement of a legal dispute which started after the balance sheet date. So it did not exist on the balance sheet date, and the loss of plant or inventory as a result of the fire. Right, so that is type 1 and the type 2 event. Okay, now coming to the million-dollar question of the SA 560, which is the audit procedures to identify the subsequent events. So I've already written that heading over here, audit procedures to identify the subsequent events. Again, identifying, adjustment, disclosure of subsequent events. Whose responsibility? 100,000%, it is the responsibility of the management. So as an auditor, did you look at my hand? As an auditor, what is the responsibility of the auditor? What is audit procedure number 1? Take a blank piece of paper, sit in front of the client and eat their head. And understand, make inquiries of the management. Okay, management, how you identify the subsequent events. Right, so make inquiries of the management. Then last point in all my audit procedure answer, look at my hand, is what? Obtain written representations from the management that all subsequent events have been identified and disclosed to the auditor. They've been informed to the auditor. And now what is the style of the auditor? Directly ask and indirectly check. So now in between what I need to do, I need to indirectly check. Okay, now I want to check for subsequent events. I want 100,000% attention, no distraction, no fidgeting. Right? I want to check for subsequent events. That means I am doing audit for 31st March 2030. So example of subsequent events is 1st April 2030. Assuming date of my report is 25th of April 2030. So events between this date. And that is subsequent event. Facts, I am yet to come to facts. Okay, so checking anything up to 31st of March is not going to give me information regarding subsequent events. Checking anything up to 31st March will not give me information regarding the subsequent events. That means now I need to indirectly check after the balance sheet date, after the date of the financial statements. So that is why now what does the essay tell over there? That auditor, you read the latest. How much ever possible till the date of your audit report latest available. You read the minutes of the meeting of the audit committee, board of directors, shareholders. You read the latest position of the legal cases, the dishum going on for the company. Right? Then you read the latest budgets, cash flow forecast, and it is budgets, cash flow forecast of the company. So that will also tell you about the subsequent events. And you read the latest interim financial statements. Say the date of my audit report is 25th of July. So already April, May, June, one quarter is over. So say first quarter interim financial statements have been prepared. So you also read the latest. Am I auditing them? No, I will audit them late next year. But right now I am only reading them to identify the subsequent events. Right? So these are the audit procedures to identify the subsequent events. What are the audit procedure? Understand, make inquiries of the management, obtain the written representations from the management. Right? So first point and last point, same in all the answers. What is first point? Understand, make inquiries of the management. Last point, obtain the written representations from the management. And in between what you are going to do, you are going to read the latest. What latest? Minutes of the meeting, budgets, cash flow forecast, interim financial statements, position of the legal cases. And then last point, obtain the written representations from the management. Okay, what is point number 1? Understand, make inquiries of the management. What is procedure number 1? Understand, make the inquiries of the management. So go and eat the head of the management. So now when you go and eat the head of the management, what all inquiries of the management are you going to do regarding the subsequent events? That is the next question. And okay, what all inquiries of the management? Oh my God. Again gone. Okay, so recorded class students, I'm so sorry. But it's not that I'm doing anything. Okay. No audio. Yeah, it's come because the video only went. So no audio, no video, nothing for me. Just wondering. Okay, right. So inquiries of the management regarding the subsequent events. So what inquiries of the management you will do regarding the subsequent events, right? So you will sit over there taking the blank piece of paper and make inquiries of the management. One, regarding the assets. That management, whether any of your assets have been destroyed by fire, flood, earthquake. Management, is there any planned disposal of the assets? Management, is there any doubt regarding the recoverability of your assets, like any debtor becoming insolvent? Right. Then after that, I make the inquiries of the management regarding the accounting. That management, whether there is any change in the accounting policy. Management, there is any change in the method of making estimate. Management, whether there are any major accounting entries which have been taken after the date of the financial statement. So I make the inquiry regarding the accounting, and then I do the other inquiries. What other inquiry I do? Okay, whether there is any sale purchase, what you say, any sale purchase of the asset, right? Any sale purchase of the assets of the company, right? So sale, purchase, destroyed, disposal of the asset, that is already covered. Then whether any others, in that I say whether there is any issue of shares or debentures of the company done after the balance sheet date, and issues of the shares or debentures of the company. Then any developments regarding the contingencies, any developments regarding the dishum, the developments regarding the contingencies, and any new commitments, borrowings, any new commitments or the borrowings, right? So these are all the inquiries of the management which I do regarding the subsequent events. Right, so one question I discussed with you, what are the audit procedures to identify subsequent events? And then second question, what are the inquiries of the management that you will do regarding the subsequent events? What are the inquiries of the management that you will do regarding the subsequent events? So what are the audit procedure? Procedure number 1, understand the procedure being used by the management. Make inquiries of the management. Last point, written representation from the management. And now in between what you will do, read the latest, and after the balance sheet date. So that is again latest. What are you going to read latest? What are you going to read latest? You are going to read the latest minutes of the meeting, interim financial statements, position of legal cases, budgets, cash flow forecasts, other related management reports, and then take the written representation from the management. And then you will also do the inquiries of the management. So that's a separate question. Inquiries of the management. So whether any sale, disposal of the asset, whether any assets have been destroyed by fire, flood, earthquake, any doubt regarding the recoverability of the assets. Then I do the inquiry regarding the accounting, any unusual accounting adjustment, any change in accounting policy, any change in the measurement of the estimates. Right, so estimates or provision. And then you have the others, any issue of the shares or debentures, new commitment, borrowings, and any developments regarding the contingencies. Right, so both of these questions have been asked in your exams. The audit procedures to identify subsequent events, and then the inquiries of the management regarding the subsequent events. Okay, what inquiry will you do when you go and meet the head of the management? What inquiries you will do regarding the subsequent events? So you will inquire regarding the assets, you will inquire regarding the accounting and the others. Okay, right. Then after that, one small point over there, branch auditor, he issues his report to the principal auditor, company auditor. So now subsequent events related to the branch. And so branch auditor, say he is giving his report to the company auditor on 20th of April. And then 20th April, after that, considering right, so considering the report of the branch auditors, the final report is issued by the principal auditor to the shareholders on the 25th of April. And so up to 20th of April, the subsequent events related to the branch are taken care of by the branch auditor. So this is date of financial statement. This is date of the branch auditor's report, say 20th of April. This is date of the branch auditor's report, and this is date of the principal auditor's report, head office, company auditor report. And this is the date of the principal auditor's report. So now subsequent events related to the branch up to the date of the audit report of the branch auditor are taken care of by the branch auditor. So between this period, the subsequent events related to the branch are taken care of by the branch auditor. And between the date of audit report of the branch auditor and the date of the audit report of the principal auditor, the subsequent events related to the branch are taken care of by the principal auditor. So very simple language, if the debtor of the branch becomes insolvent on 12th April, whose responsibility? Branch auditor responsibility. It becomes insolvent on 22nd April, whose responsibility? Principal auditor's responsibility. And a principal auditor's responsibility. So if branch, what does it say? Subsequent event. Say debtor became insolvent. So whether adjustment has been done, to check that, it is responsibility of the branch auditor if it happens on or before 20th of April. If it happens between 20th April to 25th of April, it is the subsequent event related to the branch, but it is after the date of the audit report of the branch auditor. Then it is the responsibility of the principal uncle. Then it is the responsibility of the principal auditor. Clear everyone? Right? Clear this very small point over here, subsequent events related to the branch. Up to the date of audit report of branch auditor responsibility. After that, it is the headache of the principal auditor. Right? After that, it is the headache of the principal auditor. Right? So this is part 1 of my discussion of the SA 560. Events occurring between the date of financial statements and the date of the auditor's report. This is part 1. And now coming to the discussion regarding the part 2, which is regarding the facts that become known to the auditor after the date of the auditor's report. Had they been known to the auditor on or before the date of the audit report, it would have caused the auditor to amend the audit report. And for these facts, auditor, what you need to do? You need to respond appropriately, right? So this fact topic is very, very trending in the exam. So this facts topic over there. Right? So had this fact been known to the auditor on or before the date of the audit report, it would have caused the auditor to amend the audit report. And see what I do, this is trending, and this is where the case study comes in the exam. Rather, case study comes for both, but this audit procedures to identify subsequent events and all of that, that is 5-star. See, ma'am, that is what you do. One you mark as 5-star, other you say trending. That means what is our life? We have to study both. Good. At least you are understanding that much of my sentiments now. So at least that is what I am happy about. I can find happiness in that also. Okay. Right. So anyways, now we are talking about the facts that become known to the auditor after the date of the audit report. Had they been known to the auditor on or before the date of the audit report, it would have caused the auditor to amend the audit report. And so you came to know the fact, say example on 25th of May or 25th of October. So it is after the date of the audit report. Had you known it before the date of audit report, you would have changed your audit report. So now for these facts, auditor, what you need to do? You need to respond appropriately. Now, what does it say? These are the facts which are there after the date of the audit report. Between the date of financial statements and date of audit report, 1st April to 25th April, that also we divided under 2, type 1 event and type 2 event. Now, after the date of the audit report, that also we divide under 2. And after the date of the auditor's report, facts that become known to the auditor after the date of the auditor's report, even that we divide under 2. What are the 2? It says 1, before the financial statements are issued or after the financial statements are issued. Before the financial statements are issued or after the financial statements are issued. Right? So generally company AGM, it has to take place by 30th September. So I can say on or before 30th of September or on or after 30th September. It's basically on or before the date of AGM or on or after the date of AGM. And before the annual report of the company is published, after the annual report of the company is published. That is what I am saying. Okay, so further the facts are divided under 2. What are the 2? Before the financial statements are issued and after the financial statements are issued. In both cases, what you have to do, you have to take a deep breath and then you need to respond appropriately. In both cases, what you have to do, you have to respond in a professional manner. You have to respond appropriately. Right? So respond appropriately means first thing what I should do when I come to know about the fact. Like in Satyam in 2009, they came to know that last 7 years, whatever report they are issuing is all wrong. It's a fact which becomes known to the auditor after the date of the audit report, whether it is before the financial statements are issued or after the financial statements are issued. It says first thing which you need to do in both the cases is DDI. What is DDI? Discuss the matter with the management. Second, determine whether the financial statements need the amendment, and then inquire as to how management intends to address the issue. Inquire as to how management intends to address the issue. So first thing, favorite work of auditor, discuss. Discuss management, what you did like this, very bad. Then you determine whether reopening, restatement of the accounts is required. And inquire, determine whether the financial statements need amendment, okay, whether the accounting entry will have to be taken for this, whether changes will have to be made. Auditor, you determine. And after determining, you say no, then matter is over. You say yes, amendment to financial statements is required. Now, auditor, you cannot make the changes to the financial statements. So now what I will do, I will inquire to the management as to how management intends to address the issue. Auditor says, I to think that you need to change your financial statements. Then you ask management, what is your plan? And what could be the plan of the management? Management says that we are going to amend the financial statements, or they say we are not going to amend the financial statements. Amend, not amend. Okay, why I have written 2 times? Because it could be, right? Because it could be before the financial statements are issued or after the financial statements are issued. And then management amends, management does not amend. Management amends, management does not amend. Right? So basically we are talking about the 4 situations over here. Right? What is situation 1? After the date of the audit report, before the financial statements are issued and management amends. After the date of the audit report, before the financial statements are issued and management does not amend. After the date of the audit report, after the financial statements are issued and management amends. After the date of the audit report, after the financial statements are issued and management does not amend. Right? What is situation 1, everyone? Obviously, the first point for all the 4 situations is it has to be after the date of the auditor's report, and it has to be after the date of the auditor's report. Then in situation 1 and 2, it is before the financial statements are issued, and before the financial statements are issued. Situation 3 and 4, it is after the financial statements are issued, and then after that you have management amends the financial statements. Management does not agree to amend the financial statement. Management agrees to amend. Management does not agree to amend the financial statements. So when the case study comes in the exam, you have to identify which situation is the question from. Is the question from situation 1? Because generally the case study in the exam is coming from situation 1. Or is it situation 2, situation 3 or situation 4? Everybody, please tell me, have you understood situation 1, 2, 3, 4? I will discuss in detail with you. But have you first understood, okay, what is situation 1? It is after 25th April, but it is before 30th September and management says we will make the change. It is after 25th April, it is before 30th September. Management says hum change nahi karenge. Then it is after 25th April. It is after 30th September also, but management says we will amend. So this is like restatement of accounts. Right? Then after the date of the report, it is after the financial statements are issued and management says we are not going to change. Everybody, did you understand this much? Am I freezed? When you don't give answer, then I feel as if I am freezed. Seriously, am I freezed? Oh. Right, so am I audible? Have you guys seen on the screen in the Zoom? Am I audible? Or is the chat box not working now? Some new development over there. Okay, now ma'am, chat box is not working. Let me put hello on the chat box and activate it again. Oh yeah, hello. Okay, right. So audible, huh? So now audible, hello, everything over. Now tell me, did you understand situation 1, 2, 3, 4? You tell me this now. Understood, not understood. Have you understood situation 1, 2, 3, 4? Yes, all of you? @gmail.com. Have you understood? Situation 1, situation 2, situation 3. Yes, you understood. Very good. Okay. Right. So now after the date of the audit report, before the financial statements are issued. What did we say? Whether it is before the financial statements are issued or after the financial statements are issued. In both cases, first what we need to do? DDI. What is DDI? Discuss the matter with the management. Determine whether the financial statements need amendment. Inquire as to how management intends to address the issue. Okay, and so let us have a look at this in the essay 560. So facts that become known to the auditor after the date of the audit report but before the financial statements are issued. What is the first thing you do? DDI. Then after the date of financial statement audit report and after the financial statements are issued, again what is the first thing you do? DDI. And discuss, determine and inquire. And then after that it says if management amends the financial statements, the auditor shall. So this is situation 1. If management does not amend the financial statements, that is situation 2. And if management amends the financial statements, situation 3. And management does not take the necessary steps, that is situation 4. Okay, now what does it say? Auditor, you are under no obligation to perform the audit procedure after the date of the audit report. Otherwise, for the rest of your life, you'll have to call the management and keep on asking them okay, whether there is any subsequent event, So are you under any obligation to perform procedure? No. In our engagement letter, we write it. That management, if there are any facts which come to your attention after the date of the audit report, you need to inform it to the auditor. So as such, you are under no obligation to perform any audit procedure. Right? You are not under any obligation to perform any audit procedure. Okay. Now let us take a situation. Say example, I have to go for an outstation audit. Right? So those days in my life when I was doing my articleship, say example in 2006, 7, 8. And I had to go for an outstation audit and next day morning, say 5 o'clock in the morning, the flight is there. And at 5 o'clock, 7 o'clock, so 5 o'clock I have to leave home. And a 7 o'clock flight or something like that. Okay, so now obviously you know that next day morning you have to go for take an early morning flight. So what you do the night before only, you pack your entire bag and keep. So all you're going for 8-10 days and then again whether how many weekdays and weekend and what client meeting, everything, whether you are able to eat outside food, you don't like outside food, so accordingly you do all the packing over there, right? You do all the packing. Okay, so now if anybody asks me okay, from tomorrow you had to go for that outstation audit, so at what time did you finish filling up the bag? So I say I finished filling up my bag at 10 p.m. Okay, this is situation 1 where at the time when I was filling my bag, when I finished filling it at 10 o'clock, I remembered that the client file also I had to put it in my bag. And the client file, the hard copy, the cardboard file, that also had to put it in my bag. This is situation 1. Situation 2, okay, at 10 o'clock in the night when I finished filling my bag, I did not remember. Then I just fill my bag and then I am trying to sleep. Already there is so much of the curiosity, anxiousness about going. So but still I am trying to sleep. And then I'm sleeping and then all of a sudden at 12 o'clock in the night I remember that oh my god, that client file which I had to take, which I got from office today, that too I did not put only in the bag. So then what I do, I get up immediately at 12 o'clock in the night. Now at 12 o'clock in the night when I wake up, do I empty the entire bag again? That everything what is there in my bag, do I take it off everything from the bag? No. The entire bag I keep it as it is. Just I open the bag and now in the bag I just put this file and then I close the bag. So now, if in situation 2, if anybody asks me at what time you finished filling up the bag, I will say entire bag 10 o'clock except for the file which I put at 12 o'clock. Except for the file which I put at the 12 o'clock. Okay, situation 3. I finished filling up my bag at 10 o'clock. I did not remember at 12 o'clock in the night, 3 o'clock in the morning, 5 o'clock in the morning, 7 o'clock in the morning regarding the file. Okay, then I reached to the destination over there, then I checked into the hotel, then I got ready, then I went to the client place, I had breakfast over there, I said hi, hello to the client, then I thought I'll start doing the work. And then I realized, Arey, file kidhar hai? And where is the file? And then you realize that, oh, file, you call your mama and ask, hey, mama, that file I had got from office, is it at home? She says, yeah, it is lying over here only. So now you are like disappointed. Now what you have to do, on the basis of that file, you had to do the entire audit. Now that file is only not there with you. And so now you call your senior. And now senior, what he will do? Left, right, center. That is the problem with your generation. You people have no sincerity. You people are not disciplined. You don't know how to take responsibility. He will, give you the blast over there. And so now you have to talk to your senior, and then accordingly the action will be taken. Okay, right. Similarly, now what is the date of my audit report? 25th of April. So all the facts, if I know on the date of my audit report, then that is 25th of April. So on or before the date of the audit report. Second, what happened? The date of audit report is already done, 25th of April. But then you came to know that there is a High Court order which says that the two companies can be amalgamated with effect from the 1st of January 2030. Amalgamation ka High Court order has come for the 1st of January 2030. Right, so now already audit report issued. 25th of May High Court order came that the two companies can be amalgamated with effect from 1st of Jan 2030. So first I discussed the matter with the management. Determine whether the financial statements need amendment. Yes, that amalgamation entry will have to be taken. Inquire as to how management intends to address the issue. They say, yes, auditor, we are going to take the entry. So now auditor, you will have to do the audit of that amalgamation entry. Like I told you, now I'm putting the file in my bag. But am I emptying the entire bag? No, I'm just putting the file. Similarly, now I have to do the audit. But do I have to do the entire audit again? No, I just have to do the audit of that amalgamation entry. I just have to do the audit of that amalgamation entry. And now the date of my audit report will be two dates. One, 25th of April 2030, except as to note Y. What is note Y? Where that amalgamation entry has been explained, which is as of 30th of May 2030. Example. So for entire financial statements, what is the date of my audit report? 25th of April. But only for that amalgamation entry, what is the date of my audit report? 30th of May. So what is this? This is dual dating. And wherein now on an exceptional basis, you are putting the two dates in your audit report. You see it over here, dual dating. And a date of audit report, 25th of April, except as to note Y, which is as of, so whatever that note Y amalgamation entry, which is as of 30th of May. Date of completion of the audit procedures restricted to the amendment. Have I done the entire audit again? Yes or no? On 30th of May, when I did the audit, have I done the entire audit again? 30th May, when I am issuing the audit report now, have I done the entire audit again? No, I have not done the entire audit again. I have only done the audit of that amalgamation entry. What did I tell you? Okay, at 12 o'clock in the night, did I empty my entire bag again? No, I kept the entire bag as it is. I only put the file in the bag. So entire audit as it is, only I now do the checking of the amalgamation entry. I only now do the checking of the amalgamation entry. Okay, and then situation 3. And okay, after the date of the audit report and even after the financial statements are issued. And okay, after 30th of September, now it says in this case auditor, just like over here you had to talk to your senior. Now here it says auditor, you need to seek the legal advice. And auditor, you will have to seek the legal advice. Okay, right. So now the case studies in the exam are mainly coming from the situation 1. which is after the date of the audit report, before the financial statements are issued, and the management agrees to amend. So management says, yes CA, we are going to take that amalgamation entry. You will perform the audit procedures only restricted to that amendment. Are you going to do the entire audit again? No. Audit procedures in the circumstances of the amendment. Right, so extend these audit procedures up to the date of the new audit report, and then you have to issue a new audit report. Right, so carry out the audit procedures necessary in the circumstances, extend these procedures up to the date of the new report, and then provide a new audit report. Right, provide a new audit report. And now in your new audit report, what does it say? You will include an additional date, one more date, restricted to that amendment, that indicates that the audit procedures on the subsequent events are restricted solely to the amendment of the financial statements described in the relevant note. So the additional checking which has been done by the auditor is restricted to the amendment which is given in note Y. And provide a new or an amended auditor's report. And so additional date, or you provide a new or an amended audit report in which you put the emphasis of matter or the other matter paragraph that conveys that the audit procedures for the subsequent events are restricted solely to the amendment of the financial statements, again as described in the relevant note. Right, so what does it say? Either you put an additional date in your new audit report, or you mention it in the emphasis of matter or the other matter paragraph. Practically what we see that generally both of these are done. And so now for the subsequent events after the date of the audit report, before the financial statements are issued, one, what you do, you put the additional date, saying that the audit procedures are restricted due to the amendment, or you explain it in your audit report in the emphasis of matter or the other matter paragraph. Right, emphasis of matter or the other matter paragraph. Okay, right, so now let us talk about the situation 1. Right, so now let us talk about the situation 1. Right, so situation 1, what does it say? Auditor carry out the audit procedures in the circumstances of the amendment. Then extend the audit procedures. So carry out the audit procedures now, extend the audit procedures up to the date of the new auditor's report. Right, so up to the date of the new auditor's report, and then after that provide a new audited report. Right, so now provide a new auditor's report on the amended financial statements, on the amendment. Why? Because management has agreed to amend the financial statements. So on the amended financial statements. And then for the point number 3, it says now in your new audit report, either you put an additional date, or you mention this in the emphasis of matter or the other matter paragraph. Right, so additional date, or you put it in the emphasis of matter or the other matter. So additional date, that means we are talking about the dual dating. And additional date, that means we are talking about the dual dating. Right, so this is where the case study is coming in the exam. So that is situation 1. Then situation 2. After the date of the audit report, before the financial statements are issued and management does not amend. Management does not amend financial statements, no problem. Auditor, at least you modify your opinion. So if the auditor's report has not yet been provided to the entity, the auditor has prepared the report but not yet provided it to the entity, auditor, you can modify the opinion as per 705. Right, so what does it say? If the report is not yet provided. Right, so if audit report is not yet provided to the entity, and not yet provided to the entity, then auditor, you can modify your opinion, modify the opinion as per the SA 705. Or second, auditor, you've already issued the report has been provided to the entity. So report not provided to the entity, report provided to the entity. So now report is already provided to the entity. Now it says auditor, you notify management TCWG, unless TCWG is also involved in managing the entity, and tell them that not to issue these financial statements audit report to the third parties before the necessary amendments. Right, so what does it say? Now if the audit report is already provided, right, what does it say over here? Now if the Audit report is already provided. Now what you do, you notify the TCWG that this audit report financial statement should not be issued. Oh, I did not look at the screen, so again call. No video. Since when? Okay, just went. Okay, so I'm keeping one eye over there. Right, so I hope it's come back. Okay, right, so if it happens again, I'll just disconnect the video and start it again. I think, let's see if that solves the problem. Okay, right, so anyways, what does it say? After the date of the audit report, before the financial statements are issued and management does not amend. Now you check whether the report is not yet provided to the entity or whether the report has been provided to the entity. If not yet provided, then you modify as per 705. If it is already provided, now what you do, you notify TCWG and tell them that not to issue the financial statement to third party unless and until the necessary amendments have been made, right? So not to issue the financial statements unless and until the necessary amendments have been made. And nevertheless, still the financial statements are issued without the necessary amendment, auditor will take appropriate action to prevent reliance on the auditor's report. Right, so now you notify the TCWG that the financial statement should not be issued unless and until the amendments have been made. But what the management has done, still the financial statements have been issued. So now auditor, you need to take the appropriate action to prevent reliance on the auditor's report, right? So auditor to take the appropriate action, auditor to take the appropriate action to prevent reliance, because now auditor is in a soup because he has already issued the report and now he knows that his report is not right, because there is a fact and the financial statements need amendment and management do not agree to correct, do not agree to amend, to prevent reliance on the auditor's report. So the rule is very simple. The rule is very simple. Management, you should take the necessary steps. If management does not take the necessary steps, then auditor, you need to take the necessary steps. So here we have two situations. Again, can this be the next possible case study in the exam? Yes. So where the report is already provided to the entity or where the report is not provided to the entity or already provided to the entity. Not provided, you modify as per 705. Provided, then notify TCWG and tell them that the financial statement should not be issued. Still they are issued, then auditor, you need to now roll up your sleeves, take the appropriate action, like you need to come up with a public notice that whatever report we have issued, it is not to be relied upon, to prevent reliance on the auditor's report. Why? Because the financial statements need the amendment. Right? So that is situation 2. Now talking about the situation 3. After the date of the audit report, after the financial statements are issued and the management agrees to amend. So now it's like doing the entire audit again. So carry out the audit procedures necessary in the circumstances of the amendment. So it says carry out the audit procedures. So same point like case study 1. And you carry out the audit procedures which are necessary in the circumstances of the amendment. Carry out the audit procedure. So same point which we had over here. Okay. Right, so now what I'll do, I'll just, right, so guys, I'll just disconnect this let me on my audio. Guys, what I'll do, I'll just disconnect this particular Zoom meeting and then I will start it again. Hopefully, let's see if that solves the issue. Okay, so I'll just disconnect and start again. Right, so video recording, we guys are on. You can just, take the video a little bit ahead. Technology and its challenges, I tell you. Welcome back, welcome back. Hello, hello. Yes, hello, hello. My hello has reached to everyone. Yes, we've joined back, but I don't know if that could solve our problem. Let us see. Okay, so now after the date of the financial statements, after the report has been, after the date of the audit report, after the financial statements are issued and management agrees to amend, it says carry out the audit procedure, and now management has agreed to amend. So verify the steps taken by the management to ensure that anybody in receipt of the previously issued financial statements together with the audit report is informed of the situation. And so now you need to verify the steps taken by the management, right? So you need to review the steps taken by the management. So carry out the audit procedures in the circumstances of the amendment and review the steps taken by the management, that anybody who is in possession of the previously issued financial statements and the audit report, that they have been informed, that the audit report as well, they have been informed of the situation, that the audit report, financial statements, all of it has been changed, right? So review the steps taken by the management to inform the situation, right, to the shareholders, to inform the situation. And then you have the last situation over there, that is situation 4. After the date of the audit report, after the financial statements are issued and management does not amend. So now it says if management does not take the necessary steps to ensure that anyone in receipt of the previously issued financial statements is informed of the situation, then auditor will seek to prevent the future reliance on the auditor's report, right? So now auditor will seek to prevent the future reliance on the auditor's report. So the rule is always same. If management does not take the step, then auditor, you need to take the necessary steps. If management does not take the necessary steps, then auditor, you need to take the necessary steps. Right, so that is the facts that become known to the auditor after the date of the audit report, then before the financial statements are issued. After the financial statements are issued, management amends, does not amend, amend, does not amend, and then you have the 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we have the 1, 2, 3, 4, right? So that is a beautiful discussion of the essay 560, which is regarding the subsequent events. And between the date of financial statements and the date of the auditor's report, and facts that become known to the auditor after the date of the auditor's report. So type 1, type 2, facts which would have caused the auditor to amend the audit report. For type 1, type 2, adjustment disclosure, for that you need to obtain the sufficient appropriate audit evidence. For that you need to perform the audit procedures to identify the subsequent events and the inquiries of the management regarding the subsequent events. And to facts auditor, whether it is before the financial statements are issued or after the financial statements are issued, you need to respond appropriately. How do you respond appropriately? DDI, discuss, determine, inquire, and then management amends, does not amend, management amends, does not amend. Okay, right, so again same issue, but right now I am able to see the Zoom screen at my end. It is not flickered and disappeared. So I don't know, because when the screen disappears I realize that there is an issue, but right now the screen is in front of my eyes. Okay, so yeah, with some turbulence we are able to complete our discussion on the 560 also. And a lot of, some turbulence happened, no, in our discussion. Not internet also, my internet is all good, but just wondering, like it's unidentified issue. Okay. Right, so yes, that is our discussion regarding the 560, the audit procedures for the subsequent events. So again, a question asked in May 2001, November 2009, November 2020. After 40 attempts also they can ask a question again. Audit responsibility for subsequent events. What are the audit procedures for the subsequent events? So all this is story writing in the question. The essence of the question is only over here. As an auditor of PQR, what audit procedures would you perform to ensure that all subsequent events are considered so that financial statements give a true and fair view? Right, so very objectively you have to write down the audit procedures for the subsequent events. Read the latest. You remember, audit procedures for subsequent events, you need to read the latest. Okay, and then inquiries of the management regarding subsequent events, so 333 inquiries. And then after that it says that there is a litigation and a legal claim against the company before the issuance of the audit report, and the management of the company has agreed for an out of court settlement. So it says this is an example of the subsequent event between date of financial statements and the date of audit report. If the condition existed at the balance sheet date, then it requires the adjustment. As per 560 subsequent events, the auditor will request the TCWG to provide the written representation. So that is last point in my audit procedure. Obtain written representation. So CA Shobit should ensure that adjustment disclosures are made by the management in the absence of the same 705. Impact of the said event and report accordingly. And then a fire occurred, that is non-adjusting event, so only the proper disclosure of the aforementioned event. And then the question regarding the facts which become known to the auditor after the date of the audit report but before the financial statements are issued, and management agrees to amend and management does not agree to amend. Right, so we are talking about situation 1 and situation 2. Right, so you write down 1, 2, then in the given case. On becoming aware of the court case filed against RARE, Mr. Rishabh discussed the matter with the management, determined to amend the financial statements. He inquired as to how management intends to address the said matter. So DDI. Thus, it can be said that Rishabh has properly adhered to his responsibilities of 560. And then emphasis of matter. It says now this matter they want to put it in the audit report. An emphasis of matter. We go to 706 wherein we say emphasis of matter is not a substitute for modification to the opinion, not a substitute for disclosures as per AFRF, not a substitute for MUGC. And emphasis is not a substitute for any of this. Like the same points we say for key audit matter also. Okay, key audit matter is not a substitute for disclosures as per AFRF. It is not a substitute for modification. It is not a substitute for MUGC. In the given case, management has presumed that as the auditor was going to give the description of the matter in the audit report and its outcome in the emphasis of matter in his amended audit report, no further need to provide the additional disclosures about the court case. No, so the emphasis of matter is not a substitute for disclosures as per the AFRF. And it is not a substitute for disclosures as per the AFRF. Right, then again a question, management amends the financial statements, carry out the necessary audit procedure. Right, then again a question on the facts, subsequent events, another event, type 1 and type 2 event. The type 1 and the type 2 event. Right, so what rocks